Hello! Sunday Funday is finally back after like 2 weeks of hiatus almost. It feels like 2 weeks to me. Sorry, my cell phone causes glare to keep hitting every time I lean slightly forward. Yes, I am back with Sunday Funday. And sorry, I am all on my own here. Megan had to work today, so there's no way she was going to be able to see the movie with me. And as you can see, I saw the 5th Underworld movie. Those who are wondering about A Monster Calls, I might try to go see it tomorrow. Don't hold your hopes out. So there might be another review tomorrow. It might not be. I'm going to try to. I was going to go see it this weekend, but I couldn't be able to walk. Short introduction to my medical history. I have gout, and I haven't been able to properly treat it till just recently. And hey, it's like, yeah, don't walk. Was my options, so yeah. Yes, I saw Underworld Blood Wars. The 5th in the Underworld movies, if I'm not mistaken. I had to think there for a second. I am really surprised there are this many of these movies. Not because I don't like the movies. I actually am a rather big fan of the Underworld films. I've enjoyed them since the first one, even. I enjoyed the second one, which a lot of people really shit on. I'm like, it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a fun movie. And that's what I've enjoyed a lot about these Underworld movies. A lot of them have been very fun. They haven't always been the best looking movies. Sometimes they look kind of shitty. Sometimes they look kind of okay at best. They haven't been the best written movies. Sometimes the dialogue could be a little hokey, to say the least. It's like, I'm pretty sure Bella wrote some of these lines. And every vampire or loved one just like got hurt by what I said. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know these movies are not meant for critics. I, for one, it sounds weird, especially considering what I do. I don't know if I consider myself much of a critic. I consider myself more of a moviegoer. I just consider myself for lack of a better term, and it's a term I kind of coined myself just thinking about it, and I've seen it. Some people use as their logins or password, or not passwords. I don't look at people's passwords. No, I actually don't. But I consider myself kind of just a film whore. I just love every kind of movie. I can watch them. Hell, even the movies I hate the most, I can try and find something usually decent about it. Try to. I might have to dig through a lot of layers of shit. And I am opinionated, and I'm not going to deny any of that, but I am a whore. I will watch and enjoy a lot of stuff. I mean, like I just told you, almost all the Underworld movies. Almost all of them, short of Awakening, which I kind of was, I don't know if it was fatigue from the franchise or something, but the 4th one really just didn't sit well with me. Probably didn't help that it had a unique idea that it did nothing with. Because it's like, alright, well, what about when humans actually really get into the Lycan and vampire war and insert themselves and pretty much are saying, it's like, well, screw you. Why are y'all killing us? Because your own stupid, petty arguments you have against each other for ages. You know, it's actually a unique idea that they did nothing with. So, we get Blood Wars, which is a movie that oddly enough kind of tries to ignore the 4th one a lot. It's like, yeah, that first one was really good. 3rd one was awesome. 2 was pretty good. There was the 4th one, I think. The only thing it carries from the 4th movie is it has, I'm sorry I cannot remember him from anything but Golden Child and Game of Thrones, Tywin Lannister. I can't remember the actor's name. It sucks so bad. But I love him. His voice, along with his mannerisms, his facial expressions, everything, make anything he's in, you are drawn to him because he's just a personification of just pure charisma. It just oozes off of him. And his voice is just awesome. I just can't help it. Not quite Keith David, just levels of, oh. But, you know, it's awesome to hear him talk and just go on. But He's in this movie again, and so is his son, who I forgot his name was David. If that tells you how memorable Underworld Awakening was, I forgot that he had a son in that movie, and I forgot his name was David. I just remember him as a guy who kind of looks like Lincoln from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., those who have seen seasons 2 and 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He looks like him. I know it's not the same guy, it just looks similar. I've seen him in other movies. I can't place him, though. I'm like, I know this actor. I'm pretty sure you will tell me y'all will all write, like, give me 5 million comments, all says, like, what his name is. I will forget his name tomorrow. I will read every comment for the rest of my life, and I'll still never remember his name the next day. It's not because he's... Okay, I'll just admit, it's kind of because he's a bland kind of actor. He just is there to be stoic. Like, I will give him this much. He does come off as a very stoic kind of guy. Much better than Stephen Amell ever will attempt to, because Stephen Amell cannot emote. Stephen Amell has 2 ways of doing acting. I will try so little and do so little. Or, I'm going to be over the top and be in this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie and ruin it. Oh, God, I can't stand Stephen Amell. Oh, fuck Stephen Amell. Just fuck him up the asshole. But yeah, we have those 2 pretty much the only recurring characters from Underworld Awakening. Mind you, not very many other people are from the Underworld movies, except for Kate Beckinsale, who, of course, wasn't in the 3rd one. That was Rona Mitra. Why do I remember her name? I'm sorry, she's beautiful. She's like, oh, it's an angel from on high, though she's a devil in disguise. Yeah, sorry. A little love thing with Rona Mitra there. But yeah, Kate Beckinsale's back in this film, and boy is she... Oh, these movies are not the pillars of acting that they really want to act like they are. Like, they try to put a lot of gravitas to everything they say. And boy, Kate Beckinsale, you can see the levels of where her not give a shit meter is kicking in major. And they hit all-time level low in this movie. There are no fucks she gives throughout this movie. Very few of her lines are delivered very convincingly. Not a whole lot of what she says do you believe she's doing anything but possibly just reading cue cards. But maybe it's because of Christopher Walken and a number of other actors who kind of do stuff like that. And also, oh, what's his face? I'm trying to remember his name. It's going to bug me. And it's Gandhi from the movie Gandhi. Ben Kingsley. Jesus. Why did I forget his name? Yeah, if you ever see Ben Kingsley in the Blood Rain film, he is at the all-time level of, okay, Whipple, I will do your shitty movie. Please don't release the pictures of me sticking my wiener in a goat. Come on. Ugh. And he just doesn't care. But it's strange how it works for Ben Kingsley, because he's totally just reading off lines and then they're happy. Pretty much. But because you can tell how much he doesn't give a shit, it kind of makes the performance sort of entertaining. It's much better than a very, very bad performance by a very good actor or actress. Such as if Tywin Lannister had did this movie and he was... Sorry, I'm having to look something up. But thankfully I will try and keep with y'all. I know I have a bad tendency to be off over here, over there, over there, over there, over there. I tend to look everywhere but at the camera, as I'm doing right now. But if Tywin Lannister in this, he had given a bad performance, I probably would have been a little bit more bummed. Like, if he had just given the performance of, oh look, there's a puppy. If he'd given like one of those, that would have been a thing. But I guess because of how Kate Beckinsale is, and how I know, it's like, she's got to have some franchise fatigue. I mean, it's movie 5. It kind of works for her. That's the weird part. Is despite everything, it really works for her. Sorry, I am having to look something up and it's bothering the ever-living dicks out of me. Okay, did not think that was who it was. Yeah, yeah, Kate Beckinsale's not really trying in this movie. All of her lines, she lives like she's trying to overtalk. And I think it's really just because it is sort of over the top in just that right fun way. You know, it's one of those things where this could be a bad performance, and it is a bad performance, but it works for the movie it's in. Like, if this had been in a Marvel film, if this had been in a DC film, which is trying to make us care about these characters more, trying to give us a reason why we need to care about comic books or anything, it would bog the movie down with such a bad performance. There's a reason why, what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg? Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. His performance in Batman v Superman is so terrible. Also doesn't help it's not the right character, but I'll get into that. Not gonna talk about it because Megan and me are ranted and raved for like hours on that. But like I said, Kate Beckinsale's acting is bad in this, but it's fun. And honestly, this is a story that, first off, if you are going into this movie and you're wondering, can I watch this without watching the ads? Yeah, you kind of can. These movies are notorious for like, oh yeah, we kind of are going to want to, keep people up to date on this because we really don't have like, filler in episodes or anything. So they just throw this bunch of exposition at the beginning. And I will admit, as a fan of the series and liking how it kind of is a little bit of a guilty pleasure film, this begins to get a little tedious. And there is a lot they're going through. I mean, they're going through 4 movies. I mean, 4. If they did another one, they gotta go through 5 movies of shit. There's gonna be an hour of, alright, well, let's fill you in. Where are we now? Oh. Oh, God. And like I said, it's kind of odd because it's a good 5, nearly 10 minutes of this movie spent expositing. Kate Beckinsale just kind of reading off her lines from this one little narration she has to read from. And you're like, okay, thanks, Kate. And then, literally, right as soon as it's done, boom, action sequence. Oh, Kate Beckinsale's being hunted by Lycans because they're still able to follow her and everything. Alright, cool. And anybody who was wondering about the humans learning about the vampires and werewolves, if that comes into play in anywhere throughout these movies, no. That doesn't come up at all. In fact, it's not even mentioned. It's kind of one of them weird things where, like I said, I think they're really ignoring the 4th one. Which, 4th one is the weakest out of them, I would say. Much just because it's the easily most forgettable of them all. Like, the only thing I remember is Kate Beckinsale had a daughter in that movie, which she is constantly brought up throughout this movie. Her name is Eve. I hate the stupid symbolism sometimes. This movie does try really hard to try and be symbolic and tries to be deep. It's as deep as a kiddie puddle. Oh. Yeah, Kate Beckinsale's being chased by these Lycans, like, oh, and she just does stuff and just fights. Then suddenly, not Lincoln from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pops up. I just looked his name up, his name's Theo James. I will tell you, I'm going to forget that probably before the review's even done. Yeah, he pops up, he's like, I will help you. But I don't want your help, and just this kind of weird. It could be very convoluted, but because this is a Underworld movie, it's not as convoluted as it wants to pretend it is. Whole story breaks out about them trying to get a hold of get a hold of Kate Beckinsale's daughter. Her name is Celine, of course, in the movie. But yeah, they're trying to find her daughter, the vampires and the werewolves. Mostly because, like, her blood can help them, even though I would swear that in the last couple movies they've already proven that it's like, yeah, she's technically a pureblood by all essence. She's able to be a vampire and a werewolf at the same time. But she's only able to accomplish this because of her blood. It's like, so would y'all be able to take in their blood? But I guess because of Kate Beckinsale, now she's able to do it. Do not try and figure out this movie's math or science. It's rough. It makes you go, ow. Yeah, they're trying to do this, and there's this new head Lycan because now the Lycans are in control of the humans in all essence. Because that storyline got dropped. Yeah, his name is Marcus, and he is somehow really strong, and he's able to lead the Lycans. Magic jump cut with Kitty. Sorry, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna even catch that in time because it's like mid-sentence, but yeah, Kitty went in. So I figure I'll let her in. Y'all can deal with her furry butt literally being the only thing seen in this room. I can maybe see her a little bit. I don't know how I'm getting it. I'm getting a weird glare. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, after we get introduced to pretty much the main new character, which is Marcus, the new head Lycan and everything, we then get introduced to this other lady who looks suspiciously a lot like the lady from Penny Dreadful, though I know she's not. That's what I was looking up. I was like, is she the lady from Penny Dreadful? No, okay. Literally, I don't know if she's been in anything other than this. Like, this is her first, like, major role. And even then, her name is Solmaria? Solmer? I don't know how to pronounce her name. The evil, bad vampire lady. Pretty much is a nice way to describe her. Pretty much, she is a bad person because she wants the blood of Selene. Because she wants to be able to walk during the day. At least it's what she decides to want to do after she sees that Selene and not Lincoln, his name is David. I need to keep reminding myself that's his name, idiot. But after she sees that they can walk in day, she's like, oh, I will be able to walk in day if I drink their blood. Okay, cool. That's a thing, I guess. Yeah, after that, I mean, this is literally, it sounds like I'm rushing through this. I will tell you, that's kind of what this movie does. First 15-20 minutes, we're just getting bombarded by this shit. Like, we're having to set up all this our plot and our crap that's going on. But after that, it settles down. It settles down to just being Selene trying to learn stuff about stuff. David learning about who he really is, which turns out he is the son of a vampire queen in a way. If y'all remember the lady who died from the first movie, Amelia, I think is her name. Sorry, if camera starts shaking, this thing is leaning on my tripod, so it might wiggle a little. I'll try and get rid of that if it is there. I'll check the footage when I go back over it. Yeah, I think her name's Amelia. She supposedly had a son or something, and it turns out it's David, and that's important because I don't know. It never really explains why this is important, except for the fact they need a high blood vampire, or who can now keep wretched Solomaria from wanting to take over. And pretty much that's all it leads into. In all essence, it doesn't lead anything in. It's important to the movie, but it doesn't feel like it has any importance at the same time. It feels like it's just a plot to move the subplot sort of forward to its conclusion. And honestly, that's okay. I didn't go into this movie wanting a super complex plot. I just want some decent vampire werewolf action. That's what I watch these movies for. That's the reason why Eclipse is such a disappointment. Beyond the fact that it has to be in the Twilight universe, but also because it actually has some really damn good vampire or werewolf action here and there. Well, what are misconstrued as vampires, according to Stephanie Meyer. Ugh. You know, and that's what the Underworld franchise can usually do very well. It's part of the reason why the fourth one, I think, felt so weak to me. Beyond the fact that it really tried way too hard to have so much of a plot, and because of that, and also its plot was like, oh, it could be very interesting, and it didn't do anything with that plot. It's like, okay, well, that's aggravating. And then its action was subpar. A lot of it was very tamed. You had only a few vampires popping up here and there, and only a few werewolves popping up here and there. And you had like the big monster boss werewolf, and had to fight against Celine, and he died. It felt very, it felt unsatisfying throughout. This movie, on the other hand, you have some really decent action here and there. Sure, some action's worse than others because there's way too many quick cuts. But I mean, the editors on this movie must be paid by the cuts. Like, alright, you get $1,000 for every cut you do. I could make $1 million throughout this. Maybe that might be how it is. I don't know. I'm not going to ask them. I don't care that much. But when you get down to it, though, there is still some good action there. The acting is hokey as all hell, but I mean, this is a movie you're going in because you want great acting or anything. You're gonna be. Why are you watching this? Go watch a Monster Calls or something. I guess Monster Calls is good acting. I'm hoping it does. Go watch. I don't know. Live by Night. Watch anything else. Why are you watching an Underworld movie for good acting? That makes no sense. So, I mean, I actually fairly enjoyed a good chunk of this. I was, like, entertained throughout it. I will say that much. That is the thing that I can say. Even though I kind of don't care. I mean, that's the worst thing to say about a movie. I don't care a lot. But it's not that I don't care about these characters. I do hope they live. I like to see their, pretty much level up. Yeah, you get to see Celine. She gets blonde streaks in her hair, and that makes her more powerful. They explain it, but it's one of those moments are in the movie. I was like, you're explaining too much. No, stop, movie. Just vampires, werewolves. Keep it, stay in that realm. Don't try and explain magic. If you try and explain magic, brain's gonna probably try and explode. Or it's gonna escape and want to punch you because you're not explaining anything. You shouldn't be explaining magic. Magic just is. But yeah, she gets more powerful, and then they decide to resolve the issue of, hey, you remember Celine's lover, husband, Michael? Yeah, we killed him. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. That was a thing. Yeah, it turns out that Marcus, the main bad werewolf, he is truly bad because, not just because he wants to carry on the war with the vampires, which still it doesn't make sense why there's still a war with him. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, alright, after a while, just fucking get over it, folks. Sit down, have some tea, and realize you're both assholes and go your separate ways. You go on outside the room, you go on outside the room. Fine, there we go, guys. Got the whole vampire liking war finished. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's just, I always found the war kind of pointless without, what's his name? It's gonna bug me. Pretty much the guy from Rise of the Lycans and the first Underworld movie. Can't remember his name. Yeah, oddly enough, he was also in Twilight movies. But yeah, he, of course, doesn't show up. That'd be weird. Oh, how are you back alive? Yeah, it turns out Marcus kidnapped Michael and drained him of all his blood, and somehow that killed Michael. Even though I swore he came back from worse. Yeah, that happens. Celine's able to defeat him. And then, like I said, it's like I was kind of grooving with the movie. I'm like, alright, I can kind of enjoy this. We're getting some pretty decent action, even though some of it's kind of a little convoluted and stupid. Like vampires, like, oh, we can't hurt them. They have shields. Shoot their feet. The shields don't go down their feet. It's like it goes like right to their knees. It's like shoot their legs. I mean, I know it sounds stupid and all, but it's like they're in this cover and they can just pop shot at their knees all night long. I mean, they're just shooting at the mid-sections. One of the famous things that people always hold against Captain America, it's like, damn it, they'd actually be able to kill him if they actually would shoot anything in his face. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, militarily, you're taught to shoot at upper body. It's a bigger target. More center mass and everything. And easier to not miss when you're aiming down like this, and you can possibly lose with your left hand aiming and all that. Whole other thing, not going to get into it. Yeah, but that action sequence is kind of actually good. And Celine fighting the big guy and just literally ripping his spine out is actually kind of cool. Well, it's one of those, like, for the simple-minded part of me. I know the higher mind of me is like, that's dopey. But it's like, screw it, who cares? But then, you get this ending where it's like that happens, and it's like, alright, there's a couple more minutes left, you know, the movie's gonna kind of wrap up nicely. Not really. This movie just it's like somebody went, hey, we don't have any more money left. What do you mean we don't have any more money left? Yeah, I just went to the producers. They said we have $3.28. I can go get somebody a McChicken and a large drink. We can't do shit else. And Kate's already asked for the McChicken and a large drink. So, we're boned here. Like, fuck. Voiceover with random shit that's happening. And that is how it ends. Literally, it's just, oh, here, Kate Beckinsale voices over saying that the vampires decided to do stuff. And they share this blood thing together. Random jump cut again. Sorry, you want to go out now, so I'm like, alright, I'll let you out real quick. But yeah, this movie just, like I said, just ends on this random ass narration. It's like, oh, we drink blood, and okay, because we're vampires. That's it. It's like, so, y'all ran out of budget, didn't you? Like I said, there'd be some guy one, yeah, producers said, no more. We are maxed. I couldn't withdraw money if I held a gun to somebody's head and told them to withdraw money. Oh, but yeah, that was it was a weird fucking ending. In fact, it's a really shitty ending. And all up until that ending, I was grooving along. I was like, alright, this is probably like a decent 7. I mean, it's a flawed movie by no stretch of the imagination, but it's an easy turn your mind off enjoy movie. Then the ending hit, I was like, okay, it's a 6. Final verdict, this movie is a 6. It can be a movie you can easily enjoy for the most part. You can sit back, relax, have some decent action. Sure, the story is kind of a throwaway at this point. Hey, at least you'll know what's going on because the movie feels like it needs to inform you. Because we know everybody who watches these movies are brand new to the franchise. Because always, the 5th movie in the franchise is the perfect jumping in point. I almost have to laugh just how audacious these movie directors, writers, and everybody are with this film. It'd be like if all the Twilight movies did that. That would be terrible. Especially since the 4th one goes right into the 5th one. Yeah, this movie, it can be a fairly enjoyable action flick for what it is. It just has a shitty ending. It's up there with some of the worst endings I've seen in a film. It's like, oh, we don't know what to do, end! And it feels that way. That's the worst part. It feels like it's like, we can't end. It's a cut. I almost expect mid-fade to black in mid-sentence or something. It's like, well, Sopranos must, You almost got a few ideas from them. Yeah, fairly enjoyable movie despite its obvious flaws and that ending. Still, though, I wouldn't say it's not a movie I didn't enjoy myself at. I still enjoyed watching it. So, that was it. I mean, that's Underworld Blood Wars. I could sit there and try and talk more and more about it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about it. Now, the reason why I'm grabbing this fun little thing is because I wanted to let y'all know next week is going to be hell. Not because we have anything planned specifically, like, oh, I have stuff I gotta do, I can't go see movies. Otherwise, I would tell y'all, hey, it might be like a week or two before I can see everything. It's just because, I mean, I'm looking at it, there is so much coming out next week. I mean, there's Silence, freaking, Jesus, the Martin Scorsese film is getting its wide release then. Live by Night is getting in its wide release. Patriots Day. Monster Trucks is coming out. The Bye Bye Man and Sleepless. Oh, dear Lord. There's so much shit coming out. There's a good chance that it's probably going to be either Live by Night, Sleepless, or Monster Trucks. I'm not sure which of those three it will end up being. It will kind of just be like, ta-da, here it is. I know I have heard great things about Patriots Day. It's one of those like, I don't care. I already know about all this. It's not far enough away that I need to have the stories told to me about what happened. Maybe it also doesn't help that I don't live up in the Northeast or anything like that. I don't live near Boston. Hell, I don't even live in New York. Y'all can tell by the accent. So, I mean, it's one of those movies I've heard good things about it, but it's one of those movies I just don't care. Just really don't care. Yeah, it'll be one of those three: Live by Night, Sleepless, a Jamie Foxx film, or Monster Truck. So it's either going to be a family film. I think it's more of a family film than anything. That looks adorable, but it's probably going to be not great because it's coming out in January, and it was supposed to come out last summer. That says all wonderful things about it. Live by Night, a movie that is getting fairly decent reviews from actual humans, and then critics are just bashing the shit out of them. Like, okay, that's good. Or it's gonna be Sleepless, a film that looks like it's really trying hard to be Jamie Foxx's Taken. But at the same time, what I've seen of the trailer, I'm more confused by it now, and I'm a little towards it. Or yeah, I might just screw with y'all and just go see Bye Bye Man. So yeah, I'll go see your PG-13 horror movie in January. That'll be good. But yeah, Underworld Blood Wars. If you've enjoyed the last few, you're gonna probably enjoy this one. If you like vampire action films, you're probably still gonna enjoy this one. Don't go into it, turn your brain off, sit back and enjoy yourself. That's what I can say. It's an easy turn your brain off movie. So until then, I will see you next week, whatever the hell we get to see. So I'll see you all later.